Hey guys, so yesterday I went to my hobby shop since it was Black Friday yesterday. And so when I got there, they told me that if I was looking for something, and I politely answered the clerk, and he said that they have bought a whole collection of someone's HO scale trains. And so I started looking for what I needed. First of all, I bought these Lifelike. Well, if you guys are familiar with Lifelike, their quality is not the best that you can ask for. But I decided to pick up these cranes right here to be at Baltimore and Ohio. It's a it's this type right here. Browning, I don't know, number 2136. This right here is actually a weight that I added. Give the crane a little bit more stability. Other than that, it doesn't have much detail. The only thing you have is this thing right here. You just put it in here. That's the only way you can move the crane. I'm not gonna be showing the running of these because I have to make a plan how to add more weight to it because it's still light. The other one is this one is the same. It has the same road number, 2136. And as you can see here, this is my first roundhouse kit. Now I picked it up yesterday. Yeah, I put these in here. So the kit is supposed to bring the cab as it shows in the picture. And so it's a non-powered track cleaner. These are for where the pads go. It's spring loaded, so it will push down on the pad. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go to the hobby shop and tell them that I did not bring everything. So yeah, and I actually got the chassis finished, everything, and it's not that complicated. You don't need to glue it all. You just push these in, but it's kind of, yeah, just fell. It's kind of hard to do all this, especially since it's a 1950s kit. You have to be really careful with the plastic because the plastic is the oldest in here in the kit. It brings all the other small detail in it, but you gave me an issue yesterday that it did not bring the body kit too, and it's supposed to. So what I'm gonna do is I have to go turn. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So we're gonna set these aside, and I'll let you see the trains run around the layout. Yep, knocked something off the rails, which is definitely not good, because I have to be careful lining these things back in Egypt on their rail. Now I was gonna pick up some Bowser Stewart kits that are, I'll try to show it up in the camera. You can see those boxes right there. I was gonna pick up more of these chassis system. I think they're I don't know. They're not quad hoppers, but I forgot the name. And as you can see, the last review I did, Last time's review was a C30-7 in the last review I did about like the day I got it. So the engine is huge. It weighs 2 pounds. If you guys want to go look at the video again, you're welcome. You're more welcome to look at it and see for yourself. So that's it. I'm gonna have to run the engine. I have to take the camera off the tripod and take it off. Sorry about the delay here. It's DCC ready too, so you can plug in your decoder of choice. It's a nice runner. It's a Atlas. I don't know if it's Master Series or I'm not sure. Now I'm gonna let you see all of the engines run, because I did not do a run of not Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving train running. Unfortunately, I have to save up money and buy a new power pack, everything, so I can get a at least a Bachmann DCC controller, at least, because I'm not gonna spend a lot of money on this because I don't really have a lot of locomotives. I just have like 9, and Bachmann, you can actually put in 10 Bachmann locomotives with DCC only. So I have to save up to install each locomotive sound equipped or just plain DCC. So I have to save up for that. Probably take me a year. Depends. Alright, so we're gonna, after this stop, we're gonna change engine. Unfortunately, I think that's the motor bearings. I don't know. I have to change. And I am aware I am using horn hook couplers, which don't look realistic at all. Might change to the modern couplers today. Get the better ones, better quality. Alright, put it on the storage track, which is not connected. This used to be the engine storage facility bit. Now I've gained up in rolling stock and passenger cars. Let's see. I think I'm gonna use the Athearn blue box. Now these engines are good because they can pull quite a bit too. Athearn is still known for that. Some of their engines have momentum built in it. Now this one is gonna make quite a bit of noise because it's old. It's like 30 years old. Someone gave this to me. Now these are not LED lights, these are just incandescent bulbs, and it's been in the locomotive ever since. So the light has not burnt out. which is good because I don't not want to spend on locomotive lights. Now, if you notice, I'm not going that fast because the bi-level or tri-level auto rack it's a vintage Bachmann I bought for $5 at my hobby shop. It's a Santa Fe auto rack, and so since it's a little bit high up on ground, I can't run it too fast or it's gonna just tip. It does not have a good balancing on it, but it does have some weight to it, so I can track well a bit. Now, the B units for this engine are hard to find, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to get for this Athearn engine. Alright, so I think next stop right here. I'm just going to let it go 2 times around the layout. Now, I saw some of these at my hobby shop yesterday, but they were painted in the Santa Fe war bonnet scheme, which was really got my attention, but I didn't have a lot of money. I was in a tight budget yesterday. So I have to put this back and let's see. I think I'll use. Now this right here is it's an old vintage Bachmann GV50. It's gonna make a lot of noise. Of course, everyone knows old Bachmann engines make a lot of noise. And I did a little bit of modifications to this engine. So if you guys own these engines, which are rare to find, you know, you guys have to put your fingers down here and try to open this. Well, there is one solution. So there, let me just get something to point this with. Just use a regular old pencil. So if you guys get this right here, this little hole, that's where the little tab goes. And so the tabs there are 4 tabs on the locomotive, 2 on each side. And if you sand it off, then you'll just have a flat edge. And they're just like some Athearn engines or Atlas engines out there, where you service the engine, you just pry it off. So that's a neat little trick right there, because I actually broke a tab off of the engine, so I decided, no, I think I'm just gonna sand it off instead of breaking it and messing up the engine. So there it is. And so now I'll be quiet and let you guys see. Underfixing is able, yeah. There we go. Now, usually the Southern ran their engines facing the other direction. Like right now, the hood is facing at me, and I mean at the camera. But the Southern ran their engines with the hood facing to the boxcar, which was like a steam locomotive type running. Since the cab is far back, but right now I'm running it cab forward. Alright, so we already had 1 lap. Well, actually we had 2 laps. Almost forgot to stop the engine. just take it off. It's kind of hard with these things. I have to upgrade my rolling stock with the new couplers. Alright, so now if this would be a live stream, I will let you guys pick what I should run for the whole time. I don't know how to do a live stream, so for now we're just gonna run the CSX F40, which this engine does exist in real life. It's painted in the YN3 scheme, which is the current scheme, except the actual model of this engine actually has the ditch lights. This one doesn't, so. Oops, this thing's not wanting to. There we go. Now this engine weighs a lot. It's just like the Atlas engine, but it's probably just a pound less than the Atlas engine. And note, if you guys see this little plow and little silver tipped end, let's see. Now this plow right here, you have to be really careful, because if you glue it on all together, you're gonna really mess up the engine. I've had to glue it 5 times already with plastic cement glue, which is not fun. Alright, so we're just gonna run it. And that's really quiet too, smooth runner. That was one time it ran 1 lap. Let's see when the next one. Now this locomotive, I got it at my hobby shop too. Just pull these off the curb, because I don't know, I can't push them. So this engine I got at my hobby shop last year. After buying my starter train set, this was my second engine. So this was my most favorite one after I started, and so I think I'm gonna be running the Jeep 9. Now note, this engine used to have, you guys seen other, no, I think I didn't post any videos of it. The Santa Fe did actually have gray trucks on the war bonnet units, like right here. Try to get the camera right here. Now this was done with a little bit of tester's paint. I think it's enamel that I used, and it was silver. It really looks good. And up in the dynamic brake fan area, there used to be a chip right here, and you can see the paint coming off. So I just grabbed the tester's enamel and painted silver. Looks really good. It doesn't look patched at all. It looks like the factory paint, if you can note that. Alright, so let's run it. And this is from the train line run, which it's been around for a long time. You can still get these from Walters. I think they still make them. They're great locomotive for starter sets. Really recommend getting a Walters Trainline starter set. Now the light in the cab, the headlight, I mean, it used to go through the red on the cab, now it doesn't go much through. So I had to put some black paint on that. Now the engine's not fast itself. And this, when I go full speed, it's actually prototype speed. Trains are meant to fly through the tracks, especially the model train. Alright, so next one. I'm not gonna be doing passenger today, if you guys can see Amtrak, because I do not want to run Amtrak today. So I'm gonna just stick with, whoops, just touch the throttle. I'm gonna go with freight today, so I haven't ran passenger for a little while. I do have a U36B, but I took off the paint, and it's an old Bachmann engine. It was painted in the UP scheme, so and since the paint was old and the factory paint wasn't that good, took off the paint with rubbing and alcohol. And how do you say? I bought a tester's paint kit, and I decided to paint it with that instead of, whoops, wheel slip. Of course, those old Bachmann engines are not good for pulling power, even though if you add weights in them. Now this locomotive, yeah, it starts getting traction. Let's see. It takes it a little bit. Yeah, you have to accelerate really fast. Still, I don't know what's wrong with my room, if it's like unleveled or not. Or it can be the engine itself. Yes, it's really not fun to have the old locomotives, but probably in the future these will be worth a lot. I'm not sure about that, but could be. So with that said, I do have other engines like FTA from Bachmann, but they're stored in a box for now, so I don't want to run them. So with that said, this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and this was the longest video I ever done. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you.